Nevertheless, let's welcome Brian Cook, who's here to talk about a very serious other issue, the first respect game for the Blues. And he joins us. This has been an issue probably that's been around for as long as you have. Cookie, welcome.
Yeah, no, it's not the first time I've heard this debate, Gerard, and I think Australian football is the only football code which hasn't got the send-off rule.
Yep.
I'm still trying to work out why. What is the uniqueness about our game that determines to not have the send-off rule? And I think you guys named 2 or 3 reasons for and against, which are all there. So I'm probably I'm certainly on the fence. I'm probably in the camp of not doing anything at this stage. But if there was a number of incidents like this regularly, I think there'd be a bigger debate.
Don't you think it only takes one, Cookie? And I just go back to my final point. If this incident happened in the grand final, we would change this within a week.
Not sure about that.
Well, I am. I reckon if Richmond lost that grand final because Tom Stewart was best on the ground and Prestia was off, the AFL Commission would override Gil McLachlan.
Look, you can present a case where that would have happened in the first minute of the grand final and present a strong case. And you're saying that is enough to change the rule.
Absolutely. I think it's ridiculous we haven't got the facility. I would hope it's never used.
So Gerard, when Trent Cotchin in the preliminary final in 2017 knocked out
the ball was, that's a big difference.
When he knocked, hang on. We're talking about results here. Knocked out Dylan Shield. Dylan Shield went off, concussed, didn't come back on. Greater Western Sydney to this day said they would have won that game had that incident not happened. Cotchin gets off at the tribunal, plays in the grand final. Should he have been sent off?
No, I think that the bar is much higher than that, Scoop, and I've said that to you. You want to keep lowering the bar to make...
And if you were the person to make that judgment, I would be happy with it.
You want to keep lowering the bar to confuse the argument. You raise the bar high enough for the one I just saw there that Tom Stewart has just run through a bloke who's miles off the ball. There's no debate. That's just a red card. Get off the ground.
I disagree.
And I think we got that point. Cookie, this is a really fantastic season. We'll wait for the outcome and we'll probably readdress it there. But it's a fantastic season for the Blues, and I'm just so excited because the competition is a better competition when Carlton are up and about, particularly as they've spent 2 decades down. I mean, it's been a long time down, and it's an exciting re-emergence.
One thing I've noticed at Carlton, I've been there 8 months, is it's got tentacles that spread everywhere. There are supporters everywhere. You know, even I got in our lift to come here tonight, and someone got on another floor and said, "When am I going to get my free tickets?" Right. I said, "I've been waiting for this for 20 years, you know." And so those sort of things happen all the time. So it's amazing. It is amazing. And the passion in the stands is second to none. Yep. It's just, they're just loud, proud and passionate people. You
look pretty happy to be wearing the navy blue. It suits you.
It's still blue and white.
It is.
Yeah, so it's not a big change in terms of colour. No, I've enjoyed it. The people at Carlton have made me very welcome, and it's been it's been 8 months of getting to know the club, getting to know the people, but in the meantime developing a business plan, which we've just about finalised.
Cookie, I look at the Carlton list, and there's so many exciting players on there. The recruiting's been brilliant with what you've done with Sarden, obviously Hewitt and Chera, getting these guys in. You've got some young superstars that are going to command, a lot of interest and some big dollars. You got McKay, Curnow and De Koning, all big tools that are going to be in high demand. How do you manage that? How do you keep all these guys?
Yeah, no, this is a challenge, isn't it? And let's be honest about that. But it's very doable. The list management is not a precise science, and it's becoming less and less a science because of the trade now and free agency and Category B rookies and all sorts of things. So you just have to manage it as best you can, and when you need to make a tough decision, you do. So our list management is challenging, but it's very doable. It's not as though we can't manage it.
So you were at Geelong, obviously, and they had a pretty strict pay scale. Is that correct? Where you wouldn't pay overs for anyone? Is that sort of something you put in place at the Blues? Or?
Yeah, no, we haven't got tiers, although we had tiers at Geelong, and they were loose tiers. It wasn't though you had these strict lines and borders, but there was clusters, there's no doubt. I think, if Carlton keep going in the direction that we're going, and we should, it's going to get challenging, but you'll probably find that, as has happened in all good clubs, whether it's Geelong but previously or Richmond, if for the players to stay together, they start working together in terms of their salaries as well. They actually work it out themselves a bit, and that would be the aim, that we become so good that the players want to stay with us and actually self-regulate a little bit. That's the aim.
Yeah.
Brian, the 7th annual Carlton Respects game this Friday against the Saints. Not only orange socks, but also orange on the jumper for a very good cause.
Absolutely, it's the first time we've had a Guernsey for Carlton Respects, and we've got orange on the sleeves and on the neck, which is the international colour of harmony, and it's the Carlton Respects is our lead community program for the cause of gender equity and also for violence against women, and one has a direct relationship with the other. We go down the path of education with this program, and each year we go to about 40 schools, and hopefully a bit more in the oncoming years. We've digitised the program. 2,000 students, 40 schools in the northern suburbs. It's backed up with what we call our workplace agreements with about 24, 25 companies. And so it's something we're quite serious about, and it adds a layer to our organisation, which gives us greater meaning in the community, and I think we're all about that at Carlton Football Club.
And it's going to be a good game to celebrate it against the Saints. It's at Marvel Stadium, which I think is an amazing place when it's full, and you've filled it up a couple of times so far this year, 35 or 36,000 against the Swans, the atmosphere electric again against Freo. And the Saints, given that they're on death's door right now as a footy club for the finals, they are going to turn out. Is it their home ground or your home game, this one?
This one's our home game. Yeah, it's their home ground, but it's not their home game on the weekend.
Right.
Yeah, they're the away team. I think it's a make-up game for their members. I'm pretty sure it is.
Okay, so it's going to be a full house.
So it should be 40 plus. And it would be great to get a full house. It'd be fantastic.
Gets a lot of bad press, Marvel, but gee, at its best, it rocks in that place. It must be financially very, very frugal. Sorry, very, very
lucrative.
Lucrative's the right word. Thank you. Yeah. If you can get 30 plus.
If you can get a good crowd, it's very lucrative. It's very much between the MCG and Marvel. It's about the same until you get to about 35, and then the MCG take over. To be honest, but we enjoy Marvel. We actually win a few games at Marvel. I think we've won every game this year at Marvel. So
that's been noted.
There. It's a smallish type of ground compared to the MCG, and I think the type of play, the style of game that we play is very suitable.
Quick
for
ball
Marvel.
movement, and good forward line,
and good pressure, and good around stoppages. Those things. Yeah.
The coaching cap or the soft cap is, it's been in the news for a long, long time. It appears to me that. And it's pretty obvious. You need a great coaching group. When you got Michael Voss, I'm told he was more interested in getting a great coaching group than getting the big dollars for himself. But there is an issue there because everyone's entitled to be paid the right dollars, and if you've won premierships, that's fantastic. But ultimately, if you've won premiership, you're getting paid for what you've done rather than what you're about to do. Is there another way of doing this, the AFL maybe incentivising finals coaches, premiership coaches to take some heat off the cap, or does it just have to be spread a little bit more across the board and you can't have somebody on the big dollars?
Yeah, no, it's a difficult one. The whole issue is around whether there should be an exemption for the best coaches in the soft cap, the ones that are getting paid the most, more accurately. It's a tough one. I mean, at Geelong, I was saying we should have got an exemption, but now at Carlton, I'm saying the opposite, and you run with the organisational position on it, and that's what I'm doing. But if I'm trying to be fair, I probably think there should be some compensation for the clubs who have the highest paid. That would be my personal decision. And the reason for that is that I think there's somewhere around 600,000 or 700,000 difference between the highest paid and the lowest paid.
Yep.
And there's reasons for that, and I think some part of that should be equalised. Yes.
Brian, you've been around, a lot of success at footy clubs, obviously Geelong and West Coast. Michael Voss comes in and it's clicked pretty much straight away. Straight away, you could see in the pre-season this was a pretty hungry, different Carlton. Can you put a finger on why? What do you think it is?
Look, I think there's 3 or 4 things. One is the players were certainly in a state of readiness for change. And when you get a group of players who are ready for change and just, lapping up, new things that are coming their way, that's the first thing. I think he's a great leader. I think he's managed to appoint wonderful assistant coaches that make up for things he may not be he's strong at, as strong as other things, because you can't be strong at everything.
Yep.
So that would be, and the other 2 things is there is talent there.
Lots of it.
And there is good resources at Carlton. So if you put all those together, talent, resources, state of readiness, good coaching, you're on a pretty good journey.
One of your resources has come under enormous scrutiny this year, Andrew Russell. He's an A-grader. I've worked with him international rules and just seen the way he handles players. He's A-grade. He's been through the Hawthorn top enders and he's now with you. And he was named and I guess the finger was pointed at him a lot last year. Where does he sit in your club at the moment?
He sits with a lot of respect amongst our player group and our staff.
Yep.
He is what I would call a expert in subject matter around high performance, and I think he does a marvellous job at the club since I've been there. He certainly has. He's done very well. Some people are very critical because of the number of injuries we've got at the moment. I think we have 16 or 17-ish. And people need to really look at the type of injury that they have, and I think 8 of those are collision injuries, as distinct from overuse. And so I don't think it's fair to blame anyone at the club on the injuries we have. It's been a combination of collision and overuse. So look, I think he has a very good future.
Yep.
Brian, who would you endorse as the next AFL CEO?
Tough one, isn't it? I would probably endorse someone who has good football experience, good football business experience. So therefore, probably someone from one of the AFL clubs.
So you wouldn't endorse someone already at the AFL, like an Andrew Dillon or a Travis Holden?
They're both very, very good. But if you ask me for my preference, I would say someone within the AFL clubs.
Can Tassie work without a relocated team? Because I'm not sure it can work.
That's a tough one. I mean, it's like asking. Early days where the Gold Coast was going to work, to be honest. Tasmania, I think, has a better chance of working than not working, okay? I'm a bit of a believer in this is a bit of a free option that the AFL has been provided by the Tasmanian government. If you put the stadium together with the dollars for the government are going to give to the new club plus other dollars, I think it works out to about 900 million, something like that. It's a free option. The AFL don't have to put anything in at this stage.
Enough talent,
and they should take up the option.
No, the issues there's other issues. There's the talent distribution. There's the staff distribution. There's the stadium. So there's a lot of other issues. And I think that we should be discussing this very much at a high level, as distinct from what's happening at times about talking in the reads about how many staff we're going to lose, or are they going to get 3 players or 4 players from every club. I think this is a good option.
Carl Amon, is he on the list?
He's on about 10 clubs list, I think, at the moment.
Yes.
That's a yes.
No, the answer is no. He's not.
He's not on the list.
No,
what about Lockie Scholl?
I don't know Lockie Scholl.
Okay. You better tune into the Crows games.
Brian, you're 5th on the ladder in a great position. I think it's fair to say that you've exceeded a lot of external expectations. I'm not sure what the internal ones were.
Yeah.
But now that you're here, what are your expectations for the rest of the season? Now that you can see the light, you can start to taste it.
Yeah.
What do you expect from your team now?
Oh, look! I keep going in the same direction, which is a good direction. Continue to get great belief in the style of game, in our people, in their abilities. Continue to play final style football for the big games and the big moments.
Yep.
All of those, and win more games than we lose. They've always said that right through the year.
Would it feel like a missed opportunity now if you didn't win a final, though?
Can't answer that right now. Yeah, but there is no ceiling here. Okay, winning more than we lose can mean a lot of stuff. Okay. But that was my original expectation.
Yeah, you told us that the night of round 1.
There you go. And it still is. Where that leads us, I don't know.
Yeah, Cookie, Carlton to me looks like a real destination club at the moment. Obviously, your recruiting says that over recent years. I was doing a lot of walking and jogging in COVID like everyone else, and I was going around Princess Park a lot and seeing their new building there being built. It's a great facility.
Yeah.
It should be something that attracts more players.
Oh, they're fantastic facilities for the AFLW and VFLW and also the men's programs. They share the same facilities. $55 million of training and admin facilities. I think it's probably benchmark in Australia. And you know, it should be, you know, on the compass of any draftee. I think that great coaches at the moment. So I think it is and should be a destination club. We're actually having a look at the rest of the stadium at the moment and trying to develop a master plan for that as well. So there's a lot happening at the moment at Carlton.
We are heading into hard financial times. We know inflation is hitting, and it's hitting the purse strings of everybody. But my mail is that Lygon Street hasn't been pumping as strongly as this for a long, long time. Now, tell me, Cookie, every other Carlton CEO set up office at Giancarlo's University Bar. Is the pretend Carlton office still there, and you're on the free list yet?
I've had very few lunches, but the University Cafe is one, and also Danini's. So we go there, and they've got the trio of pasta. It's not bad.
I'll tell you what, they had the trio back in 1995. I remember going there in 1995 with Brad Pearce when he was playing, and Parko would always be in there having the pasta in at Danini's as well.
When you make the grand final, would you rather be playing Geelong or Melbourne?
Either.
Good answer. Brian,
because you make the grand final.
Exactly, yeah.